Burgess Owens is with us now. Burgess, first of all, hello, Gov. I didn't know you were a chimney. I didn't know you were a chimney sweep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was a very important chapter in my life, to be honest with you. It's called a humbling process.
yeah.
So it was good.
I
It was
bet
good.
it. I bet it was. I mean, I
Yeah.
know what it's like to be at the top of the world and then not be at the top of the world, and that is a really difficult thing to. If you don't accept that as a great lesson of humility, it can really drive you crazy. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Glenn. And I'll tell you that this is the thing that one American to tell another, the greatest words, 9 words of hope. If I can do it, you can do it. And we all go through our obstacles. That's what we have to realize. There's nobody exempt from it. We just have to embrace it, not hoard those tough times. Let people know, listen, I know what it looks like. So country, as long as you dream big, as long as you hang tough and just keep up the good work, keep the faith, good things will happen in this country. That's what it's all about.
So I noticed during your speech, they started putting up to register to vote, text this number. And I think that the RNC has done the best job of reaching out to a community that they have only just kind of scratched the surface because they've never believed it was worth the time, that nobody would ever change their vote, that no black person would ever vote for a Republican over a Democrat. And this convention is so different than any RNC convention I've ever seen.
Well, you know what it is. We're at a point, Glenn. We look at it. This has been a really rough year, but it's also a year in which there's no more gray. We're seeing, for no question, what we've been talking about for years. It's no longer hypothetical what socialism and Marxism looks like. We see it full face, and we have Americans across the board can finally have conversations about what we don't want. We want light. We want hope. We want opportunity. We don't want dark, the depression, death and destruction. That's we never have been there, and I think that the left, just because they have no vision, they have no idea they pushed this way too far, and American people are just not going to put up with it. So,
Burgess, let me ask you this: I know, to some degree, because I've been told what it is like to be a conservative and black, and so many times, and I've had this experience being conservative in New York, where people will come up and say, "I'm conservative too, but don't say anything." Is that changing in the black community where they're not whispering as much? Are you seeing?
Oh my goodness, it's a sea change. It is. I think the greatest president of President Obama was that he's such a lousy president that black people finally say, whatever happened to hope and change? What really was the deal? And we have people literally, when I go to the airports, black people wearing MAGA hats. We have a walkaway campaign. We have the Blexit. That is what's scaring the left so much. They have been addicted to us for decades, and we're finally realizing that we're not just walking away, we're sprinting away. So, no, I'm excited about what's happening. And for those who just kind of, what I think is going to happen, those who still don't quite understand all of the ways that we believe in our party, they're realizing when they see their homes being destroyed or their lives, their businesses being just upended, they're realizing that there's something wrong with the party they were part of. And all we have to do is have more voices like ours, and that's going to continue to move us in the right direction. I feel very, very hopeful, Glenn, for what's happening across the country.
It was a lot easier to make this case before COVID because people were actually seeing it. Now they're struggling again, and the black communities, and it's not helping in some cities when they're burning things down to the ground. Antifa is doing that. How is the attitude towards the economy? Because when people are hungry, they're hungry.
Well, here's the deal. When you have black people who all they want is life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and they see these white BLM .Inc. people coming through with a few blacks that are kind of with them, they see Antifa, and they're destroying their community, destroying their livelihood. And they're telling us they need to defund. The black community is finally getting it, that they never have been a priority to the left. And the more messages we get out there like we're doing right now, the more they're gonna understand it. So I think there's gonna be a big sea change, to be honest with you. And I'll say this, Glenn. I've always believed that the black community and the Hispanic community and the Asian, those minorities that we've been kind of marginalized to a degree, are going to be the communities that, as we pull ourselves back from the abyss, will pull our entire country back. history will be told that it was the minority communities that truly was the salvation for our nation, because we're getting it, we're waking up, and as we do so, the left has so little power, and they cannot get their illegals in fast enough to replace it. So, and they can't get enough fraudulent ballots in to replace us. So this will go down in history as the minorities, those who had trouble in assimilating, as being the people that bring our country back and show the rest of the world what America really looks like.
We're talking to Burgess Owens. He is a candidate. You're 4th district in Utah, right?
Yep.
Not something. I mean, I've known you for a long time. Not something that you've ever wanted to do, which I think you should wear that as a badge of honor.
Well, you know, Glenn, when our conversation is always about the second chance for little youth, it was all about the kids that we all believe is our future. And I realized this time last year that if we don't get the House back, our kids here in Utah, around the country, do not have a chance. Because it's always been about policies. And as we know, the left, the elitists, love to put in policies to keep people miserable, dependent, and hopeless. And you see that now across the country. So, and we have such a good group. I'll say that those that are listening, look at your district. If you have a Republican that's standing, vote for him or her, support them. This is a very different class of individuals that are patriots, that know how to replicate a president who understands what American love and leadership looks like. We can change this country in such a big way by getting in the House, putting some more backbone in our Senate, and allowing our president to have 4 more years. Guys, I say this, we have a renaissance ahead of us. Great things will come together, and we'll finally point out who our true enemy is. And it's not each other. It's that hard left, Marxists and socialists, has done so much damage to so many who trusted them in the past.
We're talking to Burgess Owens. Burgess, when you stood on the stage last night and did that, can you just take me, just a personal kind of thing, take me through what it's like to receive a call from whomever. Does the White House call you and say, we want you to speak, and then to find yourself on a stage knowing that 20 million people are listening to your words? What is the pressure like? What is that like?
Thank goodness, Glenn, we didn't talk. You were going to tell me those 20 million people. I might have had a different approach on it if I had known that. But here's the thing. This is where dreams can come true. 2 years ago, I wrote my last book, Why I Stand, and I was hoping, not thinking about politics, hoping to just get a presence so I can some way to go across the country and help give a voice to those who are running for office that needed my voice. And I've always hoped that hopefully, I can be part of a convention. Maybe my voice could be there. So for me to get that call, it was just a confirmation. Dream big, go toward it. Know that there's a perfect plan out there. If you want to make a difference, Heavenly Father will find a way for you to do that. And I just thought it was just remarkable, and to get through it, and for them to say finally, that the talk worked out pretty good. For me, that was a magic moment. I could relax and now go back and enjoy it. So it was a good one. It really was an exciting moment.
It's good to watch you go through this whole cycle, and thank you for everything that you have done. You were fantastic on our special this summer when you were out at Gettysburg talking about, was it your great-grandfather or your great-grandfather, Silas Burgess, and everybody's beginning to know about him, and I'm so thankful because that is the American dream. That's the American way. Tell it real quick.
How you get here.
Tell it real quick.
Great-great-grandfather Silas Burgess came here in the belly of a slave ship, 8 years old, was escaped to the north of the Underground Railroad, got out to Texas, became a successful entrepreneur, started the first black church, the first black elementary school, purchased 102 acres of land, paid off in 2 years, and was a tremendous Christian who was able to forgive because of the people he met coming across the plains and realized that all whites were not bad. There were good Americans out there helping them to make it happen, and that's what we the people, Glenn, have always done. If we ever learn our history, we can never ever go the racist way, because we have been so good to helping each other out. It doesn't matter what our color or what our religion is. We the people have done great things. We just have to remember that, and he's a good example of that, by the way.